Hi guys, today we're talking about dating app messaging and the 2 to 3 questions approach. This is something that we teach in detail in our Fast Track Dating program. You can learn more about the program, the link below. I'm Jacinta from Swipe Me Happy. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's get into it. The 2 to 3 questions approach. It's about asking good, open-ended questions when you start communicating with someone on the dating app. The opening line needs to be a scroll stopper. You need to think about it like a great headline that you've seen on social media that makes you stop scrolling and makes you read. So you need to think about something that is very unique to her dating profile. It needs to make her stop and smile, needs to make her stop and think and ponder what her response is going to be. And the greatest way to do that is to find common ground. It's a great conversation starter. Say you're both into running, for example. You could ask about an event she's done recently, if there was one on in your city, or you could do some playful banter about speed or times, like cheeky, playful banter as an opening line is very, very compelling. Importantly, don't try and create common ground. It's a really bad move. It can be cringy and it can also be very obvious. What I mean by creating common ground is don't try to pretend you're into something that she's into when you've got no idea about it. I went on more than 400 online dates before I met my now boyfriend. And in that time, I met multiple guys who pretended to be into stuff I was into, only to become unstuck when it was clear that they knew nothing about it. It just gave me the ick. It felt wrong and a bit creepy. The other thing to do when it comes to common ground is not try and scratch around for something that's a bit of a lame point of connection. Like, hey, you're wearing a leather jacket in your photo. I have one too. I mean, true story. This happened to me on a first date. I'll tell you that story another time. But trying to manufacture common ground, it's just not good. It comes across as very desperate. If you don't have knowledge or you don't have common ground and you don't have knowledge about the stuff that she's into, look for something unique about one of her interests. Say she's into jiu-jitsu or true crime or rock climbing, whatever it is. If you don't know anything about it, Google it, and in your first message, reveal some funny fact about the topic to get her attention. And then you can later admit that you knew nothing about it and you had to Google it because you really wanted to interact with her. And this will come across as very cute and fun, and it will show that you've made an effort. Another tactic is to make a comment on one of her photos, but make sure that it's an observation that isn't super obvious, like a detail about one of the photos that doesn't really jump out. By doing this, she'll know that you've taken the time to really review her profile. Now, also make sure you end the first message with an open-ended question. So that's the first question. Okay, the second question. So you've ended the first message with an open-ended question. She's likely going to respond. But like this guy, this client of mine has said, she's giving me nothing. She hasn't answered any questions. This is tricky. In this scenario, keep going on that line of conversation, ask another question, and if you can, introduce your own experience or knowledge of the topic into the mix, like with the little Google hack that I gave you before. Again, end the second message with an open-ended question. Keep it fun and engaging and banter-like. Light and breezy at this stage of getting to know her is key. Now, the third question. If you're still getting nothing from her, I've got to tell you, it's not looking good. Now, the third question is very optional. Mostly if you're getting blanked like my client here, you know that the vibe is off and you'll want to move on to the next person. I mean, she's not your girl. It's that simple. And that's fine because in interacting with her or trying to interact with her, you're building up your conversation skills, you're building up your messaging skills. So this hasn't gone to waste. This is good practice for when you do get a good vibe from someone who's a better match for you. So if you're getting very little from her, just politely excuse yourself from the conversation. You don't owe her anything by continuing to hang around in a one-sided scenario. Don't do it. I know this is annoying, but like I said, it's good experience for your first gambit back into dating app conversations. And like I said earlier, if she's not your girl, that's okay. But get this, see this internet meme here? So he's asked a question. The woman is in the yellow here. And he says, awesome, what are you up to this weekend? She says, I'm working. He says, what do you do? She says, trainer. He says, oh, my back hurts super bad. She goes, yikes, probably from carrying this conversation. What? I love this. So I've had a couple of my clients use this, more than one. In fact, there's been a few. In the closing stages of what's looking like a dead-end, one-sided initial dating app conversation. Now, in using this cheeky tactic, sometimes it gets the woman involved in the conversation. Like one client of mine used this exact strategy, and the woman was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you that calling me out is really funny. And so they ended up having this engaging conversation. It was great. Other women have smarted at the approach and, thought the guy was a smart ass. So, you use this approach tactfully. Make sure you're being true to your personality and true to yourself. Don't come across as forced and unnatural. Just let your wonderful personality, natural personality shine through. Okay, that's it. If you enjoy this content, tell your mates about us. That would be great. Like, share, and subscribe for more. See ya.